Hi, as a programmer, I always used to spend lots of time to find solutions to bugs or new code implementation, either on Google or Stack Overflow. And let's face it, it might be painful and time consuming. Here is where ChatGPT can help us as developers to improve our efficiency on our daily tasks. As a professional who codes every day, I can tell you that it incredibly improved my efficiency and my ability to learn and work on multiple things. In today's video, we are going to explore 5 practical ways that you, as a programmer, can use ChatGPT, a large language model created by OpenAI, to improve your coding skills and productivity. In this demo, we will be using ChatGPT version 4, but you can really achieve the same result using the free API. So the first point is code generation. ChatGPT can be used for code generation tasks such as autocompletion, suggesting alternative coding approaches, and filling in missing pieces of code. These can be particularly useful when working on large projects, helping you save time and improve accuracy. So let me show you an example here. Let's say that I have 2 Python lists of strings. They could be none, and I want a function that outputs a new list which includes all the unique items present in the 2 original lists. All that we have to do is just copy this and go to the ChatGPT UI. And here, as I said at the beginning, I'm using GPT-4, but you can just use the default one. You will really achieve the same thing. Now, let's paste this in the prompt and press enter. And let's see what we get from ChatGPT. Okay, let's just copy the code. Go back to our IDE, paste it right here, and try it out. So let's see, here we have 2 lists as ChatGPT provided with this example. So list 1 has apple, banana, and orange. And list 2 has banana, orange, and grape. So here what we expect is to have a list with apple, banana, and orange, and grape. Because banana and orange in the second list are present also in the first list. So this is correct. And what we get as output is correct as well. Now let's move to the second point, which is code documentation. Documenting code can be a tedious task, but it is essential for maintaining and sharing code with others. ChatGPT can be used to generate documentation automatically from the code itself, which can help save time and ensure consistency in the documentation. So let's go back here and let's pretend that we have this function and we want to create a README file so we can attach it to our code base in GitHub. So let's go back here to the prompt and say, can you create a markdown file explaining what this function does? And here it is. So it creates a title, then it starts describing what this merge unique list does. So it takes 2 lists of strings as inputs, returns a new list containing all unique elements from the input list, then function signature, parameters, output, usage example. That's very cool. Function explanation, and that's it. So what we can do here, just copy this and paste it to our markdown file in our code base, and we are done. Now let's move to the third point, which is code optimization. So optimizing code can be challenging, but ChatGPT can help you identify potential performance bottlenecks and suggest possible solutions. So let's go back here and ask ChatGPT if can you improve the efficiency of this merge unique list function. So let's copy the name and say, can you improve the efficiency of the merge unique list function? So let's see what we get here. It defines a set at the beginning, then it checks for any non-list, and then it returns the unique element set as a list at the end. Okay, let's see if this works. Let's go back to our IDE and just replace the original list with a new one. So as you can see here, we have eliminated 2 if conditions, and also the code is more readable. So let's go to our terminal and just see the result. Yes, it worked again. That's very, very cool. So let's move to the third point, which is understand the code. So it always happens to me that I have to understand already written code, and maybe I don't have much context about it, or it's just a different programming language or a different technology which I've never used before, and I'm kind of lost in Stack Overflow comments, and I can really get wasted in there. And here is where I think ChatGPT really shines and really bring productivity to your daily work. So here I prepared an example, which is this Docker file from GitHub. And now let's pretend that we know nothing about Docker and we want to understand in short time what this Docker file does. Let's do what we've done before. So let's copy the entire Docker file and let's go to our ChatGPT UI. And here, what I usually do is to say, can you explain this Docker file? And then I just paste everything in here and press enter. So let's see what we get. Okay, as you can see, it's incredibly fast. So it already started explaining this Docker file. It's a Docker image with PyTorch and its dependencies installed. It utilizes multi-stage build to optimize and separate the build process into different stages for better caching a smaller image size. And here's an explanation of each stage and the relevant steps. You see how it starts explaining every stage. So the dev base stage, where you install all the conda dependencies, the submodule update, then the build stage. So this is not just for productivity's sake, but also it helps you to learn new things and in a very short time. And I think this is a very game changer for us as developers. So here I've prepared another example on how you could use ChatGPT to learn new things. For instance, during the last few days, I've been trying to learn Rust, and I always ended up having lots of questions. So I decided to try out ChatGPT to get the answers for these questions. And I can tell you that it was really good. And what I really liked, it was that it provided very specific answers, both using code and plain English. And I think this is really good, especially for beginners, because you don't have much context on what you are doing or what you are learning. So it's very good to get both coding examples, but also the explanation of this code specifically for the question that you asked. So I really suggest people that are learning new things to try out ChatGPT, because this can really speed up your learning curve. So now let's move to the final point, which is code debugging. ChatGPT can also be used as a debugging tool. By describing the issue to the model in plain English, it can help suggest possible causes and solutions, helping you to identify and solve the problem more efficiently. And as well, I've used this lots of times and it really worked. So here I prepared a very simple example, and here is where the bug is. There's a typo. This should not be list with the I, but should be LST. So let's see if this works. It shouldn't, of course. And this script is called funcbug.py. And yeah, so we got an error, a type error, object of type has no len. Now let's pretend that we are Python beginners and we don't know nothing about Python, so we can really struggle to understand in the first place how to read this error. What we can do is just copy the function, go to the ChatGPT UI and say, this function does not work. Why? And let's paste this function below and enter. So here it started, the function is not working correctly due to a small typo in the for loop. You use the built-in Python keyword list instead of the functional parameter LST. Here's the corrected version of the function, and you already provided also with the example. So, okay, let's just copy the function, and I'm just going to replace the function with the new function. So that's nice because we also got a comment in that line saying replace list with LST. And let's go to our terminal and run the script and see if it works now. And it does. So we get 6, and that's correct because we have 1, 2, and 3. So the summation of these 3 numbers will be 6. So that's it. I hope you found these 5 practical ways to use ChatGPT as a programmer useful. If you have any other suggestions or way you've used ChatGPT as a programmer, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this one, and thanks for watching. Cheers!